I want you to kind of do a Valley Girl accent if at all possible, but I don't know how that's gonna go. I just mostly for my own enjoyment, I think.
Well, you run and you run to get like up to the sun, but it's totally sinking. Welcome to Pink Floyd. I wasn't that happy with that. Welcome to Pink Floyd, the podcast where we watch every movie ever made to see if it syncs up with Pink Floyd's 1973 magnum opus, The Dark Side of the Moon. My name is Gareth Blackler.
Oh, my name is James Barron. There was just a pregnant pause there. Goodness me.
Sorry, I always keep you guessing. Am I going to introduce you or let you introduce yourself?
Yeah, man, it keeps me on my toes, which is just as well. Because I am falling asleep at the start of the show, which is boding well.
Oh no!
Yes, we're ready for Clueless this week's episode.
Yes, we watched 1995's Clueless.
It is
what were you about to say about 1995's Clueless?
I was just saying that it's a 90s feeling film, but 90s/80s, I would suppose. But I feel like by 1995, people weren't like this. Maybe? It's strange because it appears to be like a parody of itself in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think that's intentional.
Yeah.
I think it's an intentional satire.
It's definitely a funny movie, like taking the piss out of itself all the time and all the characters in it, but like...
Yeah.
I just don't know where it really places itself. Like, is it a 90s movie? Is it not? I don't remember. It was so long ago, Gareth.
Had you seen this before?
Yes, I have seen it before. I saw it on TV2. As like a primetime movie slot one like many years ago. Remember?
Was it a Colgate? It was definitely a Colgate Saturday night feature.
It probably was when I was watching it, yes.
Yeah, I feel like it played a lot. I've definitely grew up with this film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen...
Maybe a slightly edited version without like the sexual references.
Maybe.
Who's to say?
I've definitely seen the VHS in various people's homes, so...
Oh, yeah. That makes it a 90s film.
Yeah, right?
Prolific VHS ownership.
Yeah. I feel like the last VHS I can remember seeing was the, it must have been late 90s Godzilla when they made that.
Yeah.
I just have very specific memories of seeing that VHS around. Not a good movie.
It's such a VHS. Like, I'm surprised it even played in cinema, not just immediately went to VHS, because, like, even down to that green and black cover, which I feel like every VHS I can think of faded so badly that only the greens were left anyway.
Oh, no.
So, like, Godzilla was ready.
Just unreadable.
Yeah.
They were ready to be sun-bleached like so many of their kin in the VHS rack. Goodness me.
There's a VHS store in Christchurch, New Zealand. In Littleton.
There is.
And
I want to go.
Pretty cool.
What about Clueless, though? Thoughts on Clueless, Gareth?
Oh my gosh.
Didn't have a good
growing up
segue.
with Clueless and believing that's what high school will be was very interesting. And then I completely missed until this watch the kind of message of Clueless that Cher herself believes in this like fake idea of high school and fake idea of people and doesn't like see their true depth.
Right.
Doesn't see them, like, she sees them for how she thinks they need to be to fit into her, like, world. And then she doesn't realize that they go way deeper. And that's something I completely missed. And then I got to high school and it was nothing like Clueless and I had to learn it myself. I could have saved myself so much time.
Just by reevaluating Clueless.
Yeah, just by paying attention.
Bugger.
I feel
like... it's a lesson that we all have to learn, you know.
Yeah.
Man,
I do feel like maybe Clueless, because it is a bit racy in some scenes, maybe my parents sent me to bed when it was on, or maybe just because it was on TV and there were ads, it stretched itself out beyond its like hour and a half runtime. And so the last part where she learns the lessons, maybe I was in bed for and didn't actually get to see.
Yeah, man, it's a journey watching like a full hour and a half length movie on TV. That takes every movie becomes Lord of the Rings length when you're bumping in these ad breaks constantly, you know. It's a mission.
Yeah, even on like Christmas Day when they're not allowed to show ad breaks, they still will take the ad break and just show you like the ads that are allowed, which is an ad for another movie that's coming up.
Deeply frustrating.
And it still breaks it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, remember, you're still watching this on a TV. Here's here's what's coming up next on TV. We're still here. Don't forget where you're watching this. It would be like if Netflix between every episode of a TV show you were on was like played a trailer for a different episode of a different show. Like, that would be extremely frustrating. I feel like people wouldn't go to Netflix anymore.
I think Netflix kind of do that. Like, every movie, the end credits end, like, really quickly, and it just shows you a trailer for something else. Like, Netflix is pretty much there in that regard.
That's true. I feel like it would be more egregious if it was between TV episodes, though. Like, I'm fine with it at the end of a movie when I'm coming down from that. It'd be like, that's more comparable to like trailers at the movie theater, which I'm more on board with. You know.
Yes, I love a trailer.
Yeah.
At a movie theater.
So,
although I do think every trailer then needs to have the main character stop at the very end of the trailer, look directly down the camera and go, "What do you think about this movie?" And then sit silently for like 5 seconds so you can lean over to your friend and be like, "Looks pretty good."
Or, yeah.
I don't know about this one. Liam Neeson doing the Taken again.
Still getting taken. This time he's taken. He's taken. Again.
Yeah.
I think that actually happened in Taken 2, right?
I think it does. I've no idea.
Oh, well. He was the Taken.
He's in a
Taken?
new one that's like set in a very Breaking Bad, like New Mexico kind of locale. And I was so proud when I leant over to Maddie in the cinema and was like, more like Taken Bad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she didn't get it.
Oh.
Because I guess she didn't immediately think Breaking Bad. She probably thought like Westerns or something. I don't know. Or the joke wasn't good.
She probably just doesn't live inside your head. Like, he didn't have that extra context that you'd been thinking about while watching that trailer.
Yeah, it's hard, eh? That's the best thing about a podcast is you get to live inside our heads.
Exactly. This is what we think about instead of thinking about Clueless.
What is your relationship with Clueless?
Yeah,
you have seen it, you like it.
Yeah, I just saw it on TV that one time, I remember, and thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a good movie. I feel like this movie is
so good.
I get very similar vibes to Mean Girls in this movie. I feel like it's a Mean Girls where Regina George is the main character. Like the like massively popular girl is the star and written from her perspective. But like, it doesn't have that same... It's not going for the same kind of lesson as Mean Girls, but it's similar kind of vibe, except made about 10 years beforehand, you know?
Yeah, I think, let's say every generation gets one of these movies.
Yeah.
Like, there was Clueless, then there was Mean Girls, and then, I don't know, maybe Booksmart or 8th grade?
Yeah, I'd say that...
The next generation?
Fairly similar, yeah.
Yeah.
On that same level.
Yeah, I feel like because of these are coming out every 10, 15 years, did we have one for our high school experience? Is there a movie, a high school movie that syncs up with your high school experience?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. I don't think so. Oh man, I'd have to think long and hard about my high school experience and what best reflects that. Oh my god. I don't
think there's been a movie where a guy plays a Nintendo 64 emulator and reads Wikipedia, like my high school days were.
Yeah, man. I can't wait for that to come out eventually, though, when it does, you know?
Yeah.
The Blacklist story. I love it.
Although, have you seen the TV show Pen 15?
No.
So Pen 15 is set in
is this
it's middle school.
A high school trick, the Pen 15 Club.
Did you ever get done by the Pen 15 Club?
Of course I did. I'm pretty sure everybody did.
Yeah. If you don't know it, you're part of a club, right?
There's
you write
this
pen
sweet
on your
club.
hand, and you're the 15th member.
Yeah.
Write that on your hand too.
Yeah, man. We're all part of this really cool pen club. And you'll be the 15th member. Classic japery on the schoolyard.
Ah, yes.
Goodness me. Anyway, you were saying?
It's set in like the very early 2000s, so it's very close to time-wise our high school experience. But then it's very specific to their lives. It's actually I don't know why I'm going deep into it, just a sincere plug of a good show.
Okay.
But it's very good, despite, like, it'll put you off the idea because every character is played by a kid, except for the two leads, who are played by the actresses in their 30s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly,
but it's so creepy and realistic how well they do it. It's so good.
That's worrying. Honestly, I kind of got that vibe watching this. I felt like a lot of these actors were a lot older than they were saying, well, that their characters were, you know?
Yeah.
It just kind of got a weird vibe, especially watching all of them sitting in the school desks, you know? I was like, this is just a bunch of adults just chilling in all these chairs, you know? It felt really weird.
Especially they're supposed to be 15, right?
Yeah, 15, 16. And it's like, nah, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I think that's just classic, like, high school casting now. I think they're getting better at it, but, like, even, especially the 90s were rampant of, like, late 20s playing a teenager.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Do you reckon you could do it? Pull off being a teenager?
Fuck no.
Either
Absolutely
in acting
not.
or spying?
I get
not at all.
At university, I got away. I managed to pass for, like, 24 at the time.
Yeah.
Like, in comparison to my own age now, 28, turning 29 at the end of this week. Shout outs to me.
Woo!
I know. But,
I hope you get
like
lots of presents.
5 years younger, I can maybe do. But like, but that was like many years out of high school at that stage. You know, like I don't think if I was like fresh out of high school, like if I was like 21, I don't think I could pass as like 17, 16. No way.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Yeah. Like, and shout out to all our listeners who are 15, 16, but you look like a child. I'm sorry.
You're so youthful, so full of promise.
Yeah.
What is this show?
I mean, we're just bitter old men.
We're becoming that which we hate, Gareth.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Do you think it's all the, like, dad rock we've been listening to for the show?
Highly likely. I'm very much
speaking
enjoying that the start of every episode now is just like a brief psychoanalysis of ourselves.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Very important to the listeners. Just a check-in on the mental health of the podcast hosts. Very important. Anyway, let's talk about Clueless and how it's synced with Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Oh, here we go. Speak to me.
This movie starts at 100.
Yes.
Like, the very quick montage of her, like, epic teenage life.
Yeah.
Which is very scary to just hear, like, gentle heartbeats and machinery over.
Pretty awful, yeah.
Yeah.
We would be hearing Kids in America, which I think is a great song, by the way.
Yes. It's in the Digimon movie.
Hell yeah.
I think actually a lot of the music in Clueless is in the Digimon movie.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure the Mighty and Mighty Boss tones are in both.
Can we sync the Clueless soundtrack with the Digimon movie?
Oh.
Is that possible? Hopefully. Any chance to watch the Digimon movie again? I'll be hyped.
Digimon movie... Well, Digimon movie was probably my last VHS, actually.
Oh, wow. Nice. Good choice.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, this like frequent, like it's very jarring just seeing these like kids dancing around at the mall and stuff. I do like the movie comments on it being like, no, this isn't like a Clearasil commercial. This is in fact my life. The main character, Cher, is here.
Yes.
Great. I love the bit about her and her friend being named after ex singers that are now on infomercials. I think is just a solid line. A lot of good one-liners in this movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's so, like, the benefit of subtitles as well is you catch these one-liners, you catch the interesting turns of phrase. It's like Audi, I never realized was like the car. I thought they were saying like out-y.
Same, I always thought as outy as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Audi makes more sense. So there we go. It shows how cool we were.
Yeah, that's true.
But yes, it's like we jump straight from that frenzied sequence of shots of it at the mall having a good time, a brief commercial, into the computerized wardrobe, which I think you mentioned in the intro to this movie last week. But yeah, love this. Running on like early Mac.
Yeah.
Like putting together a wardrobe. Obviously the height of technology at the time. Great stuff.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have existed in real life, right?
Hell no. A Mac barely existed at this time. Like,
yeah, true.
They're probably like, what on earth is this desktop computer that we are seeing? Madness. Anyway.
But, like, she never comes back to use this machine as well. She's later, like, choosing clothes like a human does.
Yeah, she's got this amazing system lined out, and then later on she's just got all of her clothes all over the floor, like a typical teenage girl does, trying to figure out her outfit that way by seeing it all, like, Mind Palace style around her. But yeah, like, having this system completely underutilized, I'm sure her father is furious, Gareth.
Yeah.
Oh
Do you
my
think
God.
maybe they added this shot in quite late to the movie? Like, maybe it wasn't in the script or something?
Maybe. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's here.
Awesome. It sets the world so well.
Yeah, it's very fun. Very fun little bit there. There's a bunch of stuff like this, actually, just to show her, like, complete opulence and, like, lack of understanding about how well off she is and how small her problems are.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Anyway, we meet Cher.
We do get the scream of Pink Floyd while when the machine says this will be a bad outfit.
Oh,
which
no.
I appreciated.
That will be a bad outfit.
Yeah.
Don't want it. We get she is talking to her dad off on her way to school, trying to get him to drink some juice, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
She like
juice isn't that healthy.
No, not at all. But she's like trying to look out for her dad. Her whole deal, Cher as a character, is that she like tries to micromanage basically everyone around her to bet her to not only improve their life but improve her life. So and if she's keeping her dad happy and healthy, then she gets to buy more cool stuff, you know? So, there you go. It's my insipid take on their loving father-daughter relationship. But anyway, yes, he's just briefly, he says that Josh, her ex-stepbrother, is coming round to dinner that night. They have a really interesting relationship about this. Like, so Josh is the son of her dad's ex.
Yeah.
It's tenuous, but I do really like that the dad's like, I divorced his mother, not him.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that's quite sweet.
Yeah. He still likes the kid and like wants to hang out with him, so that's nice. And he like helps him out. It shows like later on, her dad's a lawyer and Josh wants to become a lawyer, and so he's like helping him out in that way. They work together on a case and stuff. It's cool.
I will say though, like, because you've seen Clueless, guys.
Yeah.
So they fall in love at the end.
Yes.
And it's the charming work of Paul Rudd and Alicia Silverstone. Like, of course you're going to love it. But
Absolutely.
it's also like sort of weird because they were kind of step siblings, and there's no reason. Like, they wrote that. They didn't have to write that they were step siblings. They could have just made it like, my dad's like helping out this college kid.
It's interesting.
Or I grew up with this college kid or something.
It's sort of like blanket saying that like 5 years out of being your stepbrother, that's okay. It's very weird. It's the longer you think about the relationship, the weirder it is. And like they even make reference to it like right at the end with the wedding scene. That's like, it's not like we live in like the Hicksville or whatever, you know. I'm not going to marry my cousin or whatever, but that's the kind of vibe, and they sort of joke around with it, but it is weird. Undeniably. I feel like it's not like strictly forbidden. There are several layers of removed there that I think it's probably okay, but it's still weird to like someone that was your brother previously, like for all intents and purposes, is now not your brother and hasn't been for 5 years, and then it's okay for you to fall in love with them. Yeah, it's like I don't know. Don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think like what's interesting is this movie is. Where were you when you realized that when you found out this movie is based on a Jane Austen novel?
Right here, right now.
Right.
Which one?
Emma, which was recently just adapted in a movie I haven't seen yet, but will probably enjoy based solely on the lovely yellow dress she's wearing.
Oh, sweet.
So, and like I just always assumed, because I can't remember where I heard this. In fact, I probably heard it in a blanket thing of like, She's the Man is based on Shakespeare, etc.
Taming of the Shrew.
I always assumed that the stepbrother thing had come from the original book.
Right.
And I looked into it. Doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Unless I've done a bad Google, but I did go on the Wikipedia page for Emma and search the word step, and I got nothing. So
okay. I feel like that's good enough research for me.
Compared to like the Predator episode last week, where I'd done all this mad research into like the original B-roll.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Anyway, I think it's perfectly fine that we move on from that. Just know that there's some weird undertones around that like we probably won't get into, but
yeah,
it's good to establish that we did notice that.
Yeah. If you think it's weird, we think it's as weird as you thought it was weird.
Yeah, right?
However weird you find it, listener, is probably right.
God, if you can tell me how weird it is, please let me know.
Yes.
Because I don't understand. I can't navigate that matrix of okayness, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
The matrix of okayness is what they call my personal life. No, it's dreadful.
Oh, no. Anyway, she rolls out of the house and goes into a Jeep as we get into Breathe here. She's driving around with no license. Another contentious thing in California here. Feel like you would get arrested so damn quick. She's got a provisional, but like you do need a licensed driver to be in the car when you're on a provisional license. And this is brought up later as a plot point. But man, bad driver. I get it's played for laughs, but yikes.
Do you find that's too serious?
Yeah, I was kind of freaking out about it.
Oh.
The bit on the freeway was really cracking me up, thankfully.
Oh, yeah.
But like, oh man. Anyway.
Was the bit on the freeway cracking you up because it's completely legal because there was a licensed driver in the car?
That's why, yes. I felt very safe to laugh at those jokes, Gareth.
Yeah. It's only fun when it's safe fun.
Damn right. I want my movies to be completely legal and above board. Yes, she goes and picks up Dion, her friend, here. Am I saying Dion correctly? I hope so. I've only really seen it written down, obviously, recently.
Although, to be honest, she's named after Dionne Warwick, and I always call her Dionne Warwick, I've just realised.
Oh, she gets...
Which is wrong.
She's got a nickname D, so I assume it's Dion. You know.
Yeah. Again, we didn't hear any of the dialogue. We were reading it while Pink Floyd rocked out.
Yeah. So, you know, take what we say at face value at every stage.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do really love that her boyfriend Murray is paging her right off the bat.
Yes.
Pages, Gareth. Haven't had to think about a pager in a long time, but I do love that they exist in this film. Yo, this is all pre-cell phones, and it's great.
It is so good, yeah.
You know?
And it's the most 90s. Like, I don't even think pages really made it to New Zealand. I think we just skipped them. We went from landlines straight to cell phones.
I mean, they are fairly janky, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's really interesting to think about that we've become these people that have grown old, right? We're the old people now that are like, back in my day, we didn't have the internet or cell phones or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And like, but there are young people around now that are like, that's just the norm to them, and we're the old people being like, saying that back in my day shit, you know?
Yeah.
And
it happens so fast.
Yeah. And that'll happen more and more as things go forward. Oh, growing old.
15-year-old listeners, if we haven't sent you away by telling you looked like a child, look out, it's going to happen to you any second now.
Yeah. Yep. It'll happen to you.
Yeah.
They'll invent the new app and you won't understand it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's why I'm trying to understand TikTok.
Yeah? You're trying to get a TikTok going?
I'm trying to get watching a TikTok going.
We released that dance video. That was pretty good for TikTok, you know?
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyway.
I will say though, like TikTok, obviously now that it's all about sea shanties, is probably for old people again.
Oh yeah. Now's my time to shine.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get in there with the lads and sing about a life at sea. You know? Taking down Kraken.
Yeah.
Drinking
you
rum.
hate Kraken.
Yeah. Not a fan. Anyway. We're going back to the film. We've got Donald Faison playing Murray with braces. on his top
Yeah.
team. Loved seeing him. He basically plays Turk from Scrubs, which I like as well. He's sort of got one speed that he's doing, but yeah, same kind of vibe. He even shaves his head to be more like Turk as we get further into the movie, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He knows his destiny's coming.
Yes. He's ready for his breakout role.
It wigged me out so much that his name was Murray.
Yeah, right. Murray.
Like every time they'd talk about a Murray and he wasn't on camera, I was like, who?
Yeah, right. It's not. It doesn't really suit him because I guess we just have like such a association with him with one character, maybe. But yeah, it just doesn't seem like a Murray.
No.
Again, maybe a tie over from the book, but
I don't think there was Murrays in Jane Austen.
no Murrays. That's disappointing, Gareth.
They're all like at a very posh dinner, and then Murray comes in in his
Mr. Murray.
stubbies and flannel.
Would like to ask you to dance. Oh my gosh.
They dance to like a harpsichord version of Dave Dobbin.
Oh my god, yes. Please, send me the mix. We move into On the Run as Cher just like rebuffs some high school guys. She's basically laying out that she doesn't date high school guys, hasn't found anyone that's up to her standards yet. And later on we're going to find out that she's a virgin as well. But this is her whole vibe, right? No one's meeting her standards, and she's always trying to improve people. So obviously nobody's good enough. And she also does a sweet speech on Haiti, and then we see Wallace Shawn as her teacher.
Yes.
Love a bit of Wallace Shawn, Gareth. You know that I do.
Me too.
Big fan of the boy. Got a lot to do in this movie as well.
Heck yeah, I think this is the one he gets most recognized for.
Really?
On the street. Yeah.
Even above Princess Bride. That's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, I think maybe because it's newer.
That's fair. But yeah, he plays like
maybe he just dresses like Mr. Hull in real life instead of dressing like his Princess Bride character.
Oh, he's just not wearing like peasant's leathers. Just out and about in Hollywood. I would love that if he did.
Yeah.
Wallace Shawn's got his own vibe. Just rolling around. Oh, I love him. Challenging people to duels of wits.
Yeah.
Just on the red carpet. Amazing. But yeah, I'm very hyped to see him here in the film. I had forgotten that he was in it. Or maybe when I saw it last, I didn't recognize him as like one of my favorites. So, but yeah, I do also like this. Like no one is paying attention to anything going on in this class. All these adults just sitting around in their chairs. Like, they've all got stuff. I think one guy's on his phone. Like there is cell phones, but they are like so huge.
Oh my god, there's a shot later of a cell phone, just a cell phone on screen. I had no idea what I was looking at.
Yeah.
I thought it was a monolith.
They make direct reference to the 2001 monolith because of that's like how that shot is set up, and I'm pretty sure and they do play the tune when that shows up.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah. So you're in the right.
I feel smart.
Yeah, you're a genius. You established that reference without sound. That's how good you are at watching that movie, man.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah. We got a burnout kid here. What's his name? Travis. Yeah.
Travis Birkenstock.
Travis Birkenstock is here, and
Breckenmeyer playing him.
Yeah, he's great as well. I thoroughly enjoyed his performance.
Oh, absolutely.
He gets a bad grade and decides to throw himself out the window.
Yeah.
To which old mate says no suicide attempts, which was very fun. But yeah, Cher got a C in this class, and she's like very frustrated with this. She's going to try and talk her way out of it, like she has been taught throughout her life that she can most of the time. She's the daughter of a rich lawyer, and this is how she does things.
Yeah, she hatches a scheme. One of her first, I guess, character-defining schemes. She's going to help old Wallace Shawn fall in love with Miss Geist.
Miss Geist. Great name, by the way. Love it. Yeah. Love a Geist.
The names in this movie are really good, even though we just complained about Murray.
Yeah.
Like
Murray's leading the side
I like that there's
down.
A kid called Elton.
Yeah, that's good. We got a Christian coming up later.
Yeah.
Cher, Dion, Ty. All very good. Josh.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Josh? What? What is this?
Do you think that's to show? I guess Murray is the more out there name, but that would show that
Josh
didn't belong in that scene.
Josh
because
is from
he's
a
called
different
Josh.
realm. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, we're back at her house. We see that it's like literally the Fresh Prince house, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, we get all the clocks and time going off as we meet Josh. Yeah, played by a very young, shockingly young Paul Rudd.
Oh yes.
Yes, I always forget that Paul Rudd's like 50, like or maybe older. But he's crazy young in this. He's as young as I think he is now in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, looks exactly the same, just like a little smoother or shinier.
Pretty
in
much,
this one.
yeah. That's basically the only difference. It's still Paul Rudd doing Paul Rudd stuff. The same way he always do.
Charming us so much.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah.
It's the dorky dude in the film as well. Yes, they basically have like an argument about how different their ways of life are. Paul Rudd, or Josh, thinks that Cher's life is fairly shallow and thinks she's very selfish and that she like manipulates other people. But Cher thinks that he's very dorky and boring and doesn't have any fun, you know. So there you go. She enacts her plan to change her grades for most of her classes, but yes, Mr. Hall is of course unwavering, doesn't let up. So yeah, she hatches that plan to hook him up with Miss Geist. Yes, I do love how she the step one of this plan is leaving a note for Miss Geist from Mr. Hall in her little cubby, and she pulls a quote from a famous romance or something. I don't know where she pulls it from, ironically. Well, not really, but in the same way that she doesn't know where she pulled it from, and that she says she attributes the quote to Cliff's Notes, which I love.
Yeah. And it's written in our subtitle like it's a name, which is so good.
Yeah. Cliff's Notes. Very good.
Yeah.
There's another good bit where Travis does a awards show style speech for his record number of tardies, which is showing up late for class, in case you don't know. Gets up there like it's the Oscars, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
You'll be noticing at this moment that I haven't really pointed out any syncs.
No, there's a tiny one where they say you run and you run, and an off-camera person who we only hear via subtitle, because I listened back to get the quote right on the actual film, and you
Just
barely
nothing.
hear it in the actual mix.
Okay.
But they say you run, and this background person says, run along to third period.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ghosts.
She's saying it to Travis as well, so
Oh, wow.
maybe Travis... I think Travis would like Pink Floyd.
Oh, absolutely. Most likely to
Yeah.
listen to Pink Floyd. He makes a Sabbath reference in the film and stuff, so, you know.
Yeah. And he talks about how his mum likes Rolling Stones and he likes Nine Inch Nails,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure Pink Floyd would be in the middle of that.
Yeah, they're between the two, I would say.
Yeah. So I guess talk to your parents about Pink Floyd, kids.
Yeah, go on. Why not? We are. We got great gig coming up, and it's been discovered that Cher has 3 parking tickets, and he forbids her from driving in the car without a licensed driver, so I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
And cue Josh, who is coming in to supervise the situation. Basically, he's getting forced. They get forced together a hell of a lot. These two.
Yeah.
He's just around hiding from his overbearing stepmother here. You know, he's basically at this house all the time, which makes things even weirder for the relationship part. But anyway,
Yeah. He is going the most Pink Floyd for just one scene where he's by the pool, he's wearing all black, he's growing a goatee, and he's reading Nietzsche.
Yeah, wow.
That's Pink Floyd.
Big poser energy. He's trying to embody his girlfriend that he has later in the film, actually. He's like the art student equivalent to this high school paradigm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also kind of the 90s jazz version where everyone wore berets, you know?
Yeah.
We're
going to see it a lot more later, but man, the 90s got real into the 50s for a bit.
Yeah, right? I don't know, maybe I was just too young for this, but I feel like this didn't exist. In my mind, I don't think people were really like this, but it must have happened for them to reference it so much, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, there's that thing about like every 20 years is repeating the previous 20 years. So like there's a lot of 70s-ish kind of fashion in the 90s.
So are we going to come back
like
to
the fact...
Sorry. No, you keep going. Sorry.
Where like there's a lot of 70s kind of fashion and music in the 90s. And so maybe then the 50s was referencing, or the 70s were referencing the 50s. So maybe it's just skipped forward enough.
Maybe.
But it's like you look at... in the last 10 years, all the 90s fashion started coming back.
Very true. So we're going to hit 2000 again, is what I was asking before.
I guess so, yeah. Get your cargo pants out.
Oh, thank goodness. I can store so many things.
Cowboy boots. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Instead of lugging around all these bags and stuff, I can finally carry my 5 phones.
I was actually like, when skinny jeans came in, because I was one of the last holdouts with the old CD Walkman.
Yeah.
I had a CD Walkman right up until like 2011.
A trialsome time.
Yeah, and it was just very hard because I couldn't fit my CD Walkman in my skinny jean pocket, but I could have in my like cargo pants.
I do love the idea of you doing this and there being a brief window of time where the skinny jeans hadn't really fully gotten to the level of skinniness that it was still possible for you to bring the CD Walkman around with you. Like, and
That's exactly it.
They were like wedged in there to the point where there was literally no possibility of the CD skipping because it's just, it became one with you at that point. I just love that mental image, but unfortunately it was not to be, and you had to retire the
briefly
Walkman.
For maybe a stretch of like 2007, but then
Yeah, that was your golden age.
Again. Oh, yeah. When I was the age of the clueless children.
Excellent. The clueless children. Wow.
Age of the Clueless Children is like my new age musical.
That's great, yeah. That's my Pink Floyd cover band.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We've got a brief dialogue from Josh here that I found extremely funny was that Marky Mark was on to plant a celebrity tree for the tree people that Josh is a part of. Fantastic. I love everything about that. Do you reckon Marky Mark would plant a celebrity tree? Like as a publicity stunt? Do you reckon he'd be down?
Yeah, I feel like now that he's transitioned into Mark Wahlberg, I think Mark Wahlberg would plant a celebrity tree, but I reckon Marky Mark would punch a tree.
Hard agree. That makes a lot of sense.
So probably right now, Mark Wahlberg is planting a tree, but he's furious at this tree.
Deep down within, the Marky Mark part of his personality is just screaming and like pulling at its chains within Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Angry man.
Oh, that should be a movie he makes, is him, like the Wahlberg versus the Marky Mark sides.
Please make that.
Yeah.
That would be great. Screw like Entourage and the Transformers movies and whatever else he's up to. Like, that's what we need from him. Just like a being John Malkovich, but it's being Marky Mark. Please.
Yes.
Please. If you're listening, Mark, hook me. Just give me writer's credit on this.
Could you call it Mark v. Mark? Like Mark versus Mark?
Mark v. Mark is good, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
The gang like get driven to school basically, and then I like the girls doing a stealth makeover very quickly on Miss Geist, just sort of bustling around her and buzzing around her like flies, you know.
Yeah.
And she ends up looking way better. Fantastic. And the tactic for Mr. Hall is just to give him some coffee to share with Miss Geist. He's obviously perfect in every way. It can't be improved because it's Wallace Shawn.
Oh, no.
There's no makeover that can improve him because he's already his perfect self. Just the sweet scent of dark roast is going to be carrying him through, other than his regular charm. Anyway, it works.
Yeah.
And the two fall in love, and the grades improve to everyone. Everyone's great success here. Everyone's clapping for Cher. I'm
amazed that they put two and two together.
Yeah.
All the students.
I feel like she would have been fairly boastful about it among the student body, you know.
Yeah, that's our girl.
Yeah. But
Yeah, Miss Geist gets really chill, and the homework is have fun. She writes that on the blackboard. She also writes it very shakily, completely in the rhythm to Money by Pink Floyd.
hell yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
She's high on that
So
coffee.
I guess, yeah, drink a lot of coffee, fall in love, and listen to Pink Floyd.
Yeah, man.
You're gonna sink.
That's the dream right there. Yeah, we move straight into good old Money and over this montage. And yeah, we just dive into the next bit. That her dad is very impressed with her basically arguing her way from a C+ average to an A- average as well.
Yeah.
I love the twist of him like getting the report card and being suspicious of her like success, and then finding out she just talked her way out of it and being like incredibly proud. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know how implied it is, but is this dad like making the world a worse place?
Almost definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
He's working on this like insane deposition and like having to. I feel like maybe he's just like doing a really intense murder trial, maybe.
Oh.
Because like later on, Cher has to highlight every conversation that occurred on September 3rd, which is the kind of thing where you're trying to place people in places at certain times in order to prosecute them for a crime, right? That's what I'm assuming is happening. You know, there's some kind of
Josh wouldn't like help out if it was something too evil.
Yeah, right. I feel like there's some kind of serial backstory that is happening here, like Serial the podcast, where like there's this cold case kind of thing that he's trying to uncover with all these records, you know.
That would be awesome if we watch it with that in mind, and you see like in the news, you see about this trial, and you see like all this tiny stuff that is actually like a big murder trial happening.
That'd be great. I would have to go
those
back
kind of
and
things.
check and look at all the newspaper headlines if there are any.
Yeah. Although I suppose if anyone's going to help you notice a secret murder trial happening in the background or something, it would be the like somber tones of Pink Floyd.
Yeah. I
So
feel like
maybe we're in the clear.
it would either be that or us on this podcast helping you notice that, because we pay way too close attention to these movies as we're going through them. But you know, yes. So the next phase of this story is there's a new girl in the class, Ty Fraser, and on the back of the success of Cher's changing of people, her good deed that she's done, she decides to take her on under her wing as a project to improve her life. Because she clearly doesn't know what she's doing. Obviously. She appears to be a burnout kid, Gareth. Oh,
Yeah.
she seems just fine, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, she seems like she would have been among the cooler and well put together people in our high school.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's great. There's a brief montage of them, of the pair, Cher and Dee, introducing her to various groups at the high school. And, and then Ty immediately hits it off with Travis, the burnout kid from earlier. And yeah, they like seem to get on really well. This would be a very organic romance if Cher doesn't intervene.
Yeah. It's so sweet. They bond over how to draw Marvin the Martian.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
That's fairy tale high school stuff. I'm into it. Good old Marvin. She's like, wow, he's actually quite easy to draw. Just eyes and like a broom hat, you know? Classic.
Yeah.
The Centurion helmet. What's up with Marvin the Martian? Why does he have such a crazy voice?
That's a really good question. There's probably a big, deep reason. Yeah.
I just want to know. I want to know more about Marvin the Martian. If I wasn't doing this podcast, I'd be researching that. So
Yeah.
let me know. Maybe after
So
the
at
show.
home, take a quick pause and learn about Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
And then talk to your parents about Marvin the Martian.
Yeah. Always talk to your parents about stuff that you listen to on this show.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Make sure it's okay. Make sure it's safe. And make sure it's factually accurate. God.
Don't tell us the fact checking you do. Tell your parents.
Tell your parents. And then let them tell us.
Yeah. When I was growing up, when I was probably the age I was watching Clueless on TV, I thought parental guidance meant parents guide your children away from the TV. They're not going to want to watch this.
Yeah, I figured. Well, that's kind of what it's meant to be, right? You're supposed to be. Parental guidance is the implication that it's like, your parents should know that you are watching this. Because there's parental guidance, and then there's parental guidance recommended.
Yes,
which
PG or PGR.
Even more illicit. Someone might say a swear. You know? That kind of thing.
It is weird, actually, parental guidance. Like, because the implication is, it's exactly what you said. They're not, like, guiding you away, but they're still... Parents, it's up to you. You sit with your child and you guide them through this racy film.
Hovering around in the background, making sure nothing comes on. That the Grinch doesn't say anything too scandalous.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know he will. Oof.
Oh, God, that bloody Grinch. What's he like? It's a regular Marvin the Martian. Anyway, we've got... so... Anyway, Cher intervenes in Ty's romance here, and they rush to do a makeover on her, as you do. Ty's like, whatever, sure, let's do it. You're my new friends. I do like her innocence. I feel like she's
so great.
She has a crazy accent in the movie as well, like a full-on like New York kind of forced Brooklyn accent, you know? But we aren't hearing any of it, so she just seems like a sweet, like innocent person, really.
Yeah,
you know. She
very quickly when Cher says that she can't be with Travis because he's a Lodi.
Oh,
we see then the Lodis dancing on the hill at a distance.
True,
and they're dancing in the rhythm to the fading out "Money" by Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
specifically when they sing the like little ooh.
Yes.
And it's a mighty sync.
That is very good. It would like not be amiss in that scene to have that playing.
Yeah.
So that's nice. You just pan over and see them and you just hear the Pink Floyd. Oh, pristine.
You look away, the Pink Floyd stops. You look back, it starts over.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
It's environmental music for that area of the quad, you know. So they do the makeover and... Yes, Josh is not very impressed with this. He basically says to Cher that she's just found someone who's just as clueless as her to worship her.
This is like maybe the third or fourth title bomb in this movie so far.
Yeah, man, there's quite a lot. The one that I think about as the key title drop is the one when she's like at her lowest point, walking around in front of that fountain. A grand revelation moment. But yeah, they don't like skimp on using it.
No.
They got plenty to throw around. Just how clueless is this girl? Is she gonna figure it out? Keep watching after the break. So they get invited to Travis's party as well next. And then the following day at school when Ty's all dolled up. But of course, again, the other two girls disapprove of this. They decide to set her up with Elton, who is this Jonas Brothers looking dude that sits behind Cher. He fully like resembles that, right? Like he just has that whole look.
Yeah, he's like the Jonas uncle.
The Jonas uncle? But he's the Jonas from which the other Jonas Brothers sprang forth.
Yes, yeah.
And so... In order to get them together, the plan is to take a whole bunch of photos of the group as a collective and push Ty and Elton closer and closer together.
Very weird scheme, but seems to work.
Apparently works, because he asks for one of these photos and then puts it up in his locker later. Oh my gosh. I also want to note that my note-taking for this movie sort of descends into the very much he said, she said of high school drama. That I'm just sort of relaying all this stuff that's happened at a high school, and it makes me feel really uncomfortable. But
that is strange, for two men in their late 20s to be like just.
But yeah,
also recording ourselves talking about the high school drama seems very strange.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to note that it just felt very strange. I had a brief moment of introspection, being like, "Wow, this is weird." But anyway, I'm going to power through it.
My watching was even weirder because I was watching all this high school drama at work during my lunch break. And we work in this big public building.
Yeah.
So I was sitting on this couch up on the 5th floor, and anyone can come up and sit on these couches. There were two teens sitting on the other couch, And
man.
I think they'd come up there because they're like, finally a place we can go to be private. And then there's this 29-year-old weirdo lying on a couch watching Clueless and taking notes.
Yeah, man. You're just trying to figure out how to be young again.
Just eating a big bag of cashews.
Oh, no. It would have only been worse if you'd rushed over to the teens and begged them to help you. Like, that's the only stage worse beyond that.
Please, teens, help me understand Clueless.
I'm as clueless as this film. Oh no! But hopefully,
actually? I guess this is such a simple question. It's almost dumb.
Oh,
like the universal experience of being a teenager would be still similar enough that you could watch this and relate, even though you would not understand a single cultural reference or technological reference in this film, right?
Absolutely. I would say so. That goes to show that it transcends even because of the Jane Austen background, right? There you go. It's a story. It's a tale as old as time, Gareth, and they've just adapted it for this quote modern age in the in the 90s, the early 90s. So yeah, I feel like it would be easily transferable to the modern audience. I feel like they'd be able to watch it and get something out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Imagine
that is actually
they could
kind of redundant. What was that?
They could remake it today, and I reckon it would work fine.
It's been 25 years since Clueless.
Yeah, it's ripe for a remake.
Yeah.
And all the previous teens, quote unquote, could play the teachers. They get set up.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like we think this is a good idea, but it'll turn out it has happened and it's dreadful or something.
Yeah, almost definitely. Oh well, never mind. We've got Any Colour You Like now as the antics of the party play out. We've got everyone coming together. They're trying to set up Ty with Elton throughout this party. Party is fucking mental, by the way. It's at Christmas time or something as well.
Yeah, the only time it's Christmas in this movie.
Yeah.
Unless this family do not take down their decorations.
Also high potential, right? It's Travis's family house, so it's high likelihood that it's April and they just haven't taken down the Christmas decorations, I wouldn't put it past that that style of character to have that exact thing going on. I do think this party looks fun. It does look mental, but
Heck yeah, the dancing at this party is so wild, especially Elton and his friends are all sitting on one big stool.
Yes.
And they all lean back and lean forward like they're on a roller coaster.
I love that. That's great. I want to see more of that at parties. Just sitting down dancing.
Yeah.
Very funny.
If you can sit down dance with the energy of someone who stands up dances, then you're going to make stand-up dancing redundant.
He gets really into it as well. The crew is just rolling back and forth, having a great time here on this this bench or whatever. It's great. But unfortunately, it doesn't go well for Ty. Someone's shoe gets kicked off and hits her in the head. And then Elton carries her to a bench, very manly, whatever. And then gets her, tilts her up, makes sure she's okay, and then gets her to dance to rolling with the homies is the move that he tests her on. And it becomes this whole huge thing for Ty, which is hilarious. Her crying later and saying rolling with the homies, fantastic.
Yeah, so good.
Yes. We're into Brain Damage now, and she is very proud of herself for doing more good deeds, like what she's doing here. And then it's time to leave the party. Travis has been rebuffed several times at this party as well. He does fully trooper, turns his life around throughout the course of the movie as well, which is great for him. But there's a lot of it's time to leave, and there's a lot of shuffling of people around. And with the cars as to who goes in which car home, and it unfortunately Cher does her best, but it ends up with her going home in Elton's car, and Ty going home with a large inflatable Santa or penguin, I can't remember which, just sitting on her lap in the front seat, which I really, really enjoy.
Yeah, so Thai.
Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, then going on from this, it's revealed, we go into Eclipse. No, we're not yet. We're still in Brain Damage, sorry. Elton makes a move on Cher. He thinks that she's really into him, has been showing signs that she likes him throughout the entire year. But none of this is true. Cher doesn't like him at all. Tries to kiss her several times. She's not having any of it. And eventually she gets out of the car and he drives away, leaving her stranded in this parking lot. Bit of a sad scene.
Yeah, very much a jerk move on Elton.
Yeah, he sucks, by the way. No good. Bad guy. I'm glad we don't really get much more of him as the movie progresses, actually. He's just
he's kind of just vanishes.
Yeah, we move on to better things. So Eclipse starts playing and Cher gets robbed by some guy out here, adding insult to injury, handing over her phone and a couple of other things, I think her wallet.
Her bag.
But she's most upset about lying down on the ground and ruining her dress.
Yeah.
Very good. And then, it's dead silence, and she calls up Josh to come and rescue her, with Josh's, very artsy girlfriend who sucks. Cher shuts her down by, knowing Hamlet better, because she's seen the movie multiple times.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good touch.
Yeah, I love these signs that she is actually really smart, and she just knows, but she knows these things a lot through more superficial ways.
Yeah, it's a recurring theme that she has a crazy vocabulary where she's just using words out of nowhere and sounding it's not that she sounds dumb using these insane words. Josh comments on it later that she says, it sounds like she doesn't know what she's talking about. And she's like, oh, really? Oh, good. That's good stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
They deal with the fallout of the party the very next day. And as Elton clearly isn't interested in Ty, and she's very upset about this. And this is we get the reveal that all the girls are virgins, except for Ty, who is super isn't. So they're naive in their own ways. I like Dee's distinction of being technically a virgin. A virgin in all the ways that count is what she said, I think. But yes, they need to find an immediate replacement for Elton. That's the plan. To set Ty up with someone, because she obviously can't be with Travis. In cue the new hot guy on the scene, Christian.
Yeah, so we're back in debate class. On the Run is playing again because we're in debate class, which I loved.
Here we are.
And we get some slow-mo, you know what On the Run sounds like, as Christian walks in the room.
Yeah. Fresh out of Greece, Christian is. He's got the slicked back hair and tight black shirt and blue jeans. Great stuff. He was mentioned a bit earlier, and that he's doing a semester at another school and then coming here or something. It's a weird
he's
situation.
in Chicago, and apparently it's Chicago from The Sting.
Oh,
he's in such old-timey days.
Heck yeah, love that.
Yeah.
But instead of setting him up with Ty, Cher immediately falls for him, basically.
Yeah.
And sets her sights on him for her new boyfriend, She makes a couple of moves on him. We get a montage of stuff that she's doing to get his attention.
Yeah. There's some great this On the Run is such a good On the Run because there's the slow and squelchy synth when there's a really flirty pan up her leg as he picks up a pen. And then there's the big crash happens when Cher kind of bites her lip and goes I think it's happening. And it kind of made me realize because they're also all supposed to be paying attention to debate class.
Yeah.
But when you're a teenager, you're so just full of these chemicals flying around that it is if On the Run was just playing over every classroom you're in.
That's wholly accurate. I never thought about On the Run being a romantically charged song, but you're absolutely right in that exact scenario. Yeah. Wow.
I would not be surprised if it came out, if the Song Explode episode for On the Run by Pink Floyd came out, And it was just like, oh, we just held a microphone up to our brains and recorded the chemicals as we like felt nervous.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It would be as much of an explanation as I would like. I would believe that explanation over any other for On the Run and how that song came to be, because what a mental song.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. Yes, so she does a couple of things in a montage form to make herself appear more desired and stuff like that by sending herself chocolates and things like that. Classic sitcom-y things.
These were so influential to me as like a child watching this.
Really?
I was like, man, I can't wait to get to high school because now I know this trick.
Now I know what this means.
Yeah.
When girls receive flowers, it means they want to date me.
Oh, no. That sounds really bad.
Yeah. I'm sure it was nowhere near that sinister, Gareth.
Yeah.
Eventually, anyway, she invites Christian to a party. I thought this was Josh's party. I think she says something about Josh during this, but apparently not.
I think it's Josh's friends.
Oh, okay. Weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But like initially he asks her on the date and he asks her to go to a clam bake.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. That's so good.
It's really like he talks like a ring-a-ding-ding kind of guy.
He does.
He says, are you nourished this weekend?
Oh, wow.
And then he asks her for a clam bake on Saturday. And this is when the clocks are happening. So it's very like exciting.
Very good. Oh my gosh. I do also really love her dad's comment about Christian. He has a like perfect read on him from the moment that he meets him. And says, he asks him, you think the death of Sammy Davis left an opening in the Rat Pack? So good. Love it. Because he rolls in with like a hat and stuff. Like a weird like trilby kind of hat.
Yeah, he does a little spin as he walks into the house.
It's so weird. His whole vibe it's very strange to me.
Have you seen Brick? The Joseph Gordon-Levitt... Rain Johnson film?
I never watched Brick. I know many people in our high school experience had to watch Brick as a set movie for English class, but
No way!
I never watched it.
They're lucky.
I dodged it.
You'd love Brick. Brick is a high school movie where everyone talks like they're in a detective novel.
Mm. I have heard about it, but I've never seen it. Okay. So old JGL, like having a good time.
Yeah. Well, look, when you go back to school undercover,
okay,
you can watch Brick at last.
So finally, it's the only place that's still playing it. The cinemas have not read any of my letters, but I've got to sneak into a high school and watch a movie amongst kids.
Yeah.
Yikes. I'm not going to do
They'll
that.
be like, what's that 24-year-old man doing in there? And you're like, psych, it worked.
Gotcha.
I'm actually 28.
Actually 28. Still arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get Cher makes her grand entrance here, walking down the stairs in a beautiful white dress, as she does.
Yeah.
Drawing the attention of Josh, not only as Christian and Josh, really. Both see her. And so he gets taken away to the party, and Josh sort of half convinces himself that he needs to go to the party and see what this Christian guy his deal is, but really he's wants to go and see Cher, I think. And the dad knows this and smiles, so he's chill with it, obviously.
Yeah.
Now at the party, Gareth, we need to talk about this.
Yes.
There's a full-on band at this party.
We start zoomed in on a trombone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is how I know that I'm in for a good time. Is this a ska band? Is this a ska
This is
party?
a ska band, yeah.
Okay.
So we're watching this on mute. We see the trumpets and we've met Christian. So I assumed we were going to a ring-a-ding-ding jazz swing kind of thing.
Yeah.
It pans out. A man with a goatee jumps in front of the camera.
Yes.
And starts just furiously pogoing and skanking.
Yeah, man.
And it keeps panning out. There's another man with a goatee jumping around, also on stage. And not only is this ska, I'm pretty sure this is the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Hell yes.
That's the impression that I get.
That's
which is a great Mighty Mighty Boss Tones joke.
That's fantastic. I'm loving them. I wanted to be listening to them as soon as I saw them. I'm probably going to go back after this record and check out what this actual performance is like. Just because I was so intrigued by them dancing around. I was like, holy shit, what is this? Is this the Scar cover of Pink Floyd of my dreams?
Oh, shout out to that band. I looked them up again as well. I was like, what were they called?
What were they doing, man?
Brim Scar Brim.
Yeah, that's right.
The Scar Pink Floyd cover band.
Oh, the best.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I have such a visceral memory of this scene from, it was like, again, one of the hottest days of the year, which it is right now as we're recording.
By the way,
that's why we're so weird and lucid. And like, I was at my girlfriend at the time's house, and I was playing Pokemon and listening to Paramore, and she was upstairs watching Clueless. I went up to say, check on her, and I just heard ska music, and I was like, this is an entirely new wrinkle to this person. And it was Clueless, and I was like, there's this much. The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones played this big a role in Clueless,
right? It's wild.
And then I completely forgot it and still got surprised by this mighty trombone.
Yeah. I was stoked to see it. They even come back for like a brief like interstitial cut of them performing as well.
Yeah.
It's great. Here they are. For probably about like 10 to 15 minutes of this movie, we're just having a sweet Scar performance. So
yeah,
I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Yes, everyone's having a good time at the party. Even Elton is hooked up with the mean girl of the group, the like most vapid one of them, who's just like sort of there as a caricature.
Yeah. Something about her, like, is she a famous GIF or something? Her expressions are so burned into my consciousness.
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of, but she is like a full-on cartoon of a person in this movie, which is great. So I wouldn't be surprised. Ty also shows up to the party, makes her entrance by falling down the stairs. Classic stuff. She just sort of stands around, not really having a good time, as Cher goes dancing with Christian. Christian's dance moves are hilarious, by the way. He's here at the party with like sunglasses on inside. Yeah. Full-on Tool moves. It's so good.
He must be mad because those sunglasses are so 90s, not 50s.
I know. He's fully up to date in a way that we haven't seen him before. But old mate Josh shows up at the party and dances with Ty to make her feel less awkward. I don't understand the motives here, but it's cool that he's having a wee dance because he doesn't usually dance. Is what Cher says.
Well, I love that. Like when she clocks him at the party, he's like talking to like the dad or something.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate, like, I think she says it's like he's going out of his way to have the least fun.
Yeah. He's like, trust him to find the only adult here, is what she says, I think. Which is so
He's probably like talking about like, this is a lovely place. Like,
yeah.
How much is the insurance a month?
Yeah. What kind of rent are you paying on this space?
Yeah.
What are your premiums like?
What was in the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones rider? Like, do they need like certain kinds of amps?
Oh, I'm back in on this conversation. I want to know what's on the Boss Tones rider. I imagine it's a lot of bugles, like the chips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's on brand. We got the party eventually wraps up, but Christian is still dancing to just like the music playing over the speakers. The band's like fully packed up and left at this point. We're listening to Great Gig, and he's just grooving away to it, so I'm feeling that. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like keen to keep the party going, find an after party, and everyone else is like, all right, Christian. You do your thing, man. We'll go home with Josh. It's all good.
Yeah.
Christian's life he's in another realm. It's amazing.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like, I don't know. He's definitely off, like, he's gone and had like a crazy misadventure while they just went home.
Totally. Oh my gosh.
Like, I bet he's like goes and has the deepest conversation in the world with a stranger.
Yeah.
And then like stops a small crime and joins the band and then like leaves the band.
Hits the
and then he's back to
jukebox.
school on Monday. Yes.
Like hits the jukebox and it comes to life and everyone starts dancing in a bar, you know?
Yeah.
That's Christian's life. For Cher's next good deed is she decides that she wants to help out all the lawyers who are working at her dad's house on this I called it the correct name before and now I've forgotten what it was.
The murder case.
Yeah, well, yeah, the murder case, whatever. And yeah, she wants to get them all food, takeout food, as her good deed. And Josh is like, oh, that's actually kind of a nice thing to do. So they do it.
Yeah.
They bring them all food. It's really nice. And she gets her dad a sandwich and then steers it away from him and gives him a salad instead, which I feel like is a bit cruel, but you know, taking care of him. Then what happens? Yeah, this is where we get our 2001 reference. Oh no, we get a brief conversation with Josh about how he doesn't want to go home to see his stepmom, and Cher offers him to stay with them over summer break, which is quite a long time, Gareth.
Yeah, which must mean if that's summer break, then this family would really late putting up their Christmas decorations.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we
unless this film's secretly in New Zealand.
Oh no, that's a great point. Yeah. Oh, problematic. Okay. I don't want it to be in New Zealand. It's kind of freaking me out.
Don't worry, there's so much LA references. There's no way.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, her dad says that it takes 20 minutes to get anywhere in LA, so we've got a well-established setting. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
But yes,
unless LA stands for Lower Auckland.
No, I'm back in. Oh, the horrors of unsafe driving occurring around me, Gareth.
No. Oh.
Anyway, they set up a date for Christian to call the following day or whatever. And yes, they call. He calls and they set a date. And Cher does a whole bunch of planning. She puts a weird log of cookie dough in the oven,
yeah.
Which is her you've got to have something baking when a hot boy comes over. She has this whole thing planned out, and it all goes terribly. He comes over to watch movies at her house, and she I don't like that he comes in and goes, "Honey, you baked," when this a terrible thing is just smoking out their whole kitchen. Very good.
Yeah. This scene is so lovely and awkward, and it's similar, I guess, to that one scene in Love Actually that's really good.
Which one?
When Emma Thompson, gosh, I always confuse the famous Emmas for no reason, is sobbing listening to Joni Mitchell and pulls herself together.
Yeah,
it's almost that, but it's just such a beautiful, true scene. Could be a short film.
Yeah,
in the middle of, unlike Love Actually, this film that I really like.
Yeah,
Clueless being the film that I really like. It's just so they have their VHS date. Cher tries to touch his leg with her leg.
Yeah,
and he doesn't like it, and he just suddenly leaves. But he gives her a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah,
and she's so confused, and it's so real to spend a whole day at that age, stressing over one social interaction. It goes weird in a way that you don't understand, but you still blame yourself for it not going right.
Yeah.
No idea what's actually happening.
Very well written and very well acted scene in the movie, I would say. Yeah, this is definitely the most realistic moment throughout. It's great. Thoroughly enjoyed this bit.
I might cut out this story because it might be too awkward for the podcast.
Wow.
I had a date like this. This was my first date after moving to Lower Auckland, LA.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was doing with my life. I was away from all my friends and family. I went to this date. We went to the mall.
Oh, yeah?
Classic. Walked around the mall, had a muffin break.
At Muffin Break?
This is a very high school date. Yeah, a muffin break at Muffin Break. Sponsor us, Muffin Break. All so high school, even though we were early 20s.
Yeah.
And then we went back. We'd taken her car, we drove back to her house, and she was like, I have pull-apart bread in the house, which is, again, very Clueless.
True.
And I was like, I love pull-apart bread, so I went in.
Yeah.
And then we sat on her bed and watched Friends with Benefits, I think it's called.
Oh.
One of the two films about being friends with benefits that came out in 2013.
Yeah.
And then it was very hot, and she was like, man, it's warm, and got into her bed, and I just sat politely at the foot of the bed, ate my pull-apart bread, ignored all these signals, and left, and didn't go on another date.
Oh, no.
It was such a, like, weird, confusing... Like, we were both misreading every signal each other were giving. Like, she must have thought I wanted something. I thought... Yum, this bread, what's she doing?
You thought I do want something, and it's this pull-apart bread.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, no.
That's such a weird, awkward thing.
Yeah, but that's just life, man. That's human interaction. That's just how it goes sometimes. You know, the signals flying all over the place.
Yeah, everyone's got a full On the Run by Pink Floyd playing in their brains at all times, and you just don't know it.
Yeah. Sometimes it comes into focus and sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Sometimes it syncs with the outside world, sometimes it doesn't. And that's the true lesson of this show.
Yeah, damn right. So we'll cut back to me talking about the movie, and whether or not that sees the light of day, we'll have to wait and see. So here's a clean break. No.
I don't know. I think it's not as bad as when I bragged about how good I was at dates during the Whiplash episode.
Oh my god. I don't even remember that. That's fantastic. Oh man. The like self-advertisement is fantastic. Yeah. I'm great on a date. Hit me up.
Yeah. Ladies. And then like you listen like further on, you're like, oh, what a dirty liar.
Never mind. I've heard the pull-apart bread story. Oh, man. Yes, so the next bit is old mate Murray is doing a wee driving test for Dee, who's also on her restricted license, effectively. And they accidentally go on the freeway. But before this, it is revealed that Christian is, in fact, gay. Murray knows this and is really surprised that no one else had figured it out. But, yeah, it's panic stations, Gareth, for me and everyone, as the freeway is a very dangerous place in LA, apparently.
The freeway is terrifying in this movie.
Yeah. It's like motorcyclists and huge trucks and stuff.
Yeah. It's also beautiful syncing in that there's this awkward, this glitchy kind of pre-solo guitar, or mid-solo guitar of Pink Floyd's Money.
Yeah, playing
and then once the solo kind of starts wailing away is when they're actually on the freeway and everything's terrifying.
Yeah, it's a good match. I'm very happy with that, and we thankfully everyone survives, and we're still wailing away with Money solo, and Murray is relieved and Dee's relieved, and they have a moment together, and she's like, man, I want a boyfriend.
Yeah.
She actually realizes that she's like, yeah, this is what I want. But
it's possibly implied because she goes, as her virginity went from technical to definitely gone, I realized I wanted a boyfriend. As if they started having sex in the car and she was just like in the back like,
oh God,
I want a boyfriend.
I hope that's not the case. They just had sex in the front of the car and she's just there. But maybe
like when you hear it spoken, it doesn't sound as much like that's happening, but the subtitles made it seem like, yep, that's what's going on.
She was probably implying that like this was not the impassioned kiss of a virgin, maybe.
Yeah.
She's like, they've done this many, many times. Like, I think is what she was saying in that moment. But anyway, she resolves to maintain her friendship with Christian, which I really enjoy.
So good for like a 90s movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Really good. He's like just her like confidant and shopping partner from now on. I think that rules.
Yeah. But then he doesn't even they don't even go full stereotype because then he still goes and like fights those guys in the very next scene to like, okay, so we see two guys dangling Ty over a mall balcony, terrifyingly.
Extremely sketchy.
Yeah. And then, Christian runs up and goes and stops them.
Yeah.
Giving another wrinkle to his character. Like,
so good.
Another note to the On the Run that's playing in his world.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah.
But the stock on Christian has only risen as this movie has progressed. He started off with like a really weird first impression, but the more that I've learned about him, the more I love him. You know?
Yeah.
But because of this brush with death, Ty becomes the center of attention at school and everywhere. and sort of usurps Cher as the most popular girl in school. To which Cher's very upset about this. She's like sort of created this monster that she can't stop. As Tai takes more and more of her characteristics on for herself. And this culminates also in as part of this, Ty's super rude to Travis as well. He comes over and she calls him a burnout and sends him back over to that little hill that they all hang out and listen to on the run on, you know.
Yeah, during the line "Only Ordinary Men."
Yeah. Oh, Travis is only an ordinary man. Shout outs to him. But yeah, this culminates in Cher taking her driving test, which of course goes terribly. She can't focus on what she's doing at all, and also she can't drive. So it's a bad combo.
I think it might be more the latter. But
yeah, but either way, she completely fails, and the driving instructor is like so angry and like put out. He gives a really good performance, actually. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
His like absolute frustration trying to like explain in a delicate way how badly she's just done. It's very good. So Tai is at Cher's house when she comes back as well. And she wants to burn all of this stuff of Elton's that she'd kept, all this weird memorabilia, like the towel he like dusted her off with and stuff like that. But Tai also reveals that she's in love with Josh. And she explains a lot of ways that she like really likes him. And Cher isn't very happy about this, and sort of says that they wouldn't be right together, and she doesn't really know why she disapproves of this at this moment, but she she basically says that she doesn't think it's right, and then Ty's like, oh, of course you'd say that, because she's very nasty to her and calls her a virgin who can't drive.
Yeah,
which
the iconic line of this movie.
Yeah,
doesn't have a sync for it, sadly, but
sadly not. Brutal stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, she has like created a monster. She goes around and says that this is where she says she's totally clueless again.
The famous version of it.
Yeah, but of course, Ty explaining why she likes Josh only makes her realize that she is the one who likes him. Cher likes him. And yeah, she has this realization, and the fountain behind her like lights up, which is very good.
Loved that shot.
Good set dressing.
This whole walk is so good. Like her voiceover when she walks past like what it seems to be a witch's house.
Yeah, the house is great. I want to know more about it, honestly.
Noticed this house.
It must be like a famous LA house or something, because it's crazy. It's mud clad or something. It's got really tall peaked roofs. I want to know about this house. I'm with Josh talking about the like insurance premiums, about the Boss Tones rider, and about this house. That's me. God damn.
She also uses the term to explain Josh's music of complaint rock.
Very strong.
Which, oh my gosh.
Accurate.
Pink Floyd have never felt more on notice.
So true. Amazing. If we can somehow change the category of this podcast to that, I'd be down.
I'll try. I'll see what I can do.
It'll probably wreak havoc on our analytics, but maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes. We're hanging out, and Cher is being very awkward around Josh now. They're just sort of hanging on the couch together, and she doesn't know how to act now that she realizes this. And so what does she do? She talks to her dad. I quite like this scene with her dad. In fact, most of the scenes with her dad I really enjoy over brain damage. And he helps her out, like saying that whoever doesn't like her is obviously an idiot.
Yeah.
And he's very sweet, and he says that like she's the one that takes care of everyone in the house and like looks after everybody. She's actually like more helpful than she knows, which is very cool. It's good dad advice, really.
Very good dadding.
Yeah. And she says that she needs to take a complete soul makeover, which is very good.
Yeah.
And
complete soul makeover would be my next new age album.
Oh, very good. And yeah, she decides that she wants to like actually help out more in more ways. She's like realized that she does like helping people, but wants to go even further from what she's done than just helping herself. She wants to help other people for the sake of helping people. And so she goes into Mrs. Geist and helps out for the Prismo Beach disaster relief drive.
Yeah.
Which goes extremely well because she's still a very popular girl. Gets a lot of help. Travis rocks up to the drive at the end of playthrough 2, saying he's on a 12-step program where he forgot the number of steps there are.
Yeah.
Which is great. Great stuff. He donates his bongs to the drive as well.
A joke I would not have understood at the time.
Hell no, but it's so good. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I hope someone else will get use out of that. Oh, it's good stuff. And then, invites her to come down to see him skateboard. And, like,
Yeah.
in a great moment, Ty and Cher reunite at this skating skate park, you know?
Skate meet.
The skate meet.
Yeah.
And they apologize to each other and say that they were both fools. This is over the heartbeats of the start of playthrough 3, baby.
And it's one of my favorite syncs I think we've ever dealt with. These little skater boys, they reach the top of their half pipe.
Yeah.
Half pipe, sorry. Goodness me, I'm old. Then 4 of them go up. They all reach the same point of air and fall back down as physics works. Each of them reaches the top of their jump exactly in time with the heartbeats starting the album. It's beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Loving that. Zooming up and down the half pipe. And then we've got Travis's performance as we're getting into Speak to Me at the start of the album.
Yeah.
And she is actually really impressed with his like prowess and dedication to skateboarding. She like never even thought about that, which is cool. It shows that she's like, not only is she deciding to help people more, but she's realized that she's been misjudging people as well. So it's good character development.
There's so much more going on in people's lives.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yes. Going into Breathe, we've got Cher helping out with this murder trial thing again. She screws something up and one of the lawyer assistant guys chews her out and scares her and gets her to leave the room. Basically is a dick about it. As Josh is making goo-goo eyes at her, basically. This guy sucks. What's his deal?
Yeah. I think it's classic, like, toxic young lawyer world.
He's still thinking about himself and hasn't learned the same lesson that Cher has. You know, he's only thinking about his job and his life and nobody else around him, you know? There you go.
He's simplifying everyone else's worlds.
Exactly. Anyway, Josh and Cher hang out on the top of the steps, a very well-framed shot. I like this a lot. And they confess to each other that they like each other, basically.
Yeah.
And they have a wee kiss.
Yeah. No sync, but still lovely.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Then basically we get into like the epilogue of the movie with like cut to the wedding and she's like, as if I'm not marrying Josh right now, I'm 16, which is great.
Yeah.
Good switch up. It's Mr. Hall and Miss Geist wedding. They're getting married, which I think is awesome. It's just great. I'm stoked for Wallace Shawn.
Yeah, I just love to see him happy.
Yeah.
It's very Shrek that it ends in Shrek before Shrek, obviously. That it ends in a wedding where every character in the film's invited and they all get a little moment.
Too true. It would have only been improved by like a performance by the Mighty Boss Tones at the end, where every cast member is singing along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn it, you've just like retroactively removed a star from this movie because if it needed to have that.
Just the return of the Boss Tones. Oh,
yeah.
If only. Anyway, the girls have a wee chat about how their weddings are going to go. I like that all the girls are sitting together and all the guys are sitting together in a sort of mirrored fashion. That's quite funny. And Cher catches the bouquet, winning a bet for Josh. And then they have another little kiss and that's it. We get some fun credits, neon colors.
Oh, these credits are so fun. The end credits for the last like 2 movies we've covered have been bonkers.
They've been awesome. It's good stuff. But yeah, what did you think?
And yeah, Mr. Shaw's wedding even features On the Run, his like the song that plays when he's on camera.
What, really?
Yeah, so every time like both of his classes is played On the Run. And then On the Run plays at his wedding.
Man, On the Run is Wallace Shawn's theme in the movie.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh man, they're coming in out of nowhere. Oh, that's good. That's good for the sync ratio. What did you think? How did it sync? Let's get into it. I think that boosts it significantly.
Yeah, I'd say... I feel like Cher herself was pushing away the syncs at first.
Yes.
But as she learned to accept that the world couldn't be under her control, she allowed more syncs to happen in the movie. And we got this amazing Wallace Shawn thing. We got these bouncing boys to the heartbeats.
The bouncing boys. Yes.
The bouncing boys. And the realization that On the Run may be brain chemicals. So
Yeah.
I think in terms of quality of syncs, we've got very high. Quantity's a little low.
Yes.
But how do we feel? Are we willing to forgive that?
Yeah, I'm willing to forgive that. I'm in a joyous mood, Gareth. I'm generous. I've had a lovely cup of coffee, and I'm just feel like have fun. I'm just written on the board, you know. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm feeling very generous. How are you feeling? What do you want to do here? Like a
Well, I
7?
guess, these syncs could have been a C-, but I reckon we give them a C+, but we give them an A-. I reckon a 7.5.
A-, I believe, is 80%, so that's 8 out of 10.
Sweet, let's do it.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
8 out of 10. A generous grade from the pod.
Yeah.
'cause
And if you want to, on your graph, you can write it argued for an A-.
There you
so
go.
we know.
It convinced us.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That was
Good on
Clueless.
ya.
What a good movie.
That was Clueless, our sweaty existential episode.
Unlike every other episode.
Yeah, actually.
Oh man.
Stand by it. This is the lava lamp of podcasts.
Yeah. New description. All that's left to do, Gareth, is reveal to you. My reveal to you of the next episode of the show. What we're doing. We did Clueless. You know, it was a romp.
Yeah.
It was a great time. I want to see, though, if we can do the flip. I want to see what would happen if we could do sort of the reverse of this movie. We've been Clueless, but what about Clue from 1985, Gareth?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, definitely.
The podcast gets
That
a
is
clue.
so good. Yeah. Seeing those next to each other on the iTunes listing is going to make me so happy.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Until then.
All right. Oh, man. Until then, I've been Gareth Blackler.
I've been and remain James Barron.
Aw. Follow Pink Floyd Pod on all your favourite things.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
On the dark side of the moon, what a show. I sort of said Wallace Shawn then, but I only committed halfway through.
Do you want to do it again?
No. God, no.
Bye.
Bye.